welcome to Stacking the Shelves for the 3 weeks preceding December 4th. It's been a long time since I've done a Stacking the Shelves. I think I mentioned in my last one that I was working on transitioning jobs. So for a while I was kind of doing two jobs, and that's fine, but it was a little bit hectic, and I was trying to really work to wrap up stuff at my old job and start to learn stuff for my new job. I am working through that transition. Today is actually the official first day at my new job. I'm recording this on December 1st. So I'm very excited about that. I have a lot of training to do and a lot of learning to do, but I am pretty much done with my old job. So that's good. And then that combined with, we would try to get all of our Christmas shopping done and Thanksgiving and all of that. I just did not have time to do a Stacking the Shelves. And I wasn't getting a ton of books. So for the last 3 weeks, I got 8 books, and I'll go ahead and I'll go through them. The first one I got is for review, and that is Violet Made of Thorns by Gina Chen. This doesn't come out until July of next year, so July 6th is the current release date, and I got through NetGalley to review. It sounds like it's going to be kind of a darker, morally ambiguous young adult fantasy. It sounds like it's about a prophetess who works for the king, who isn't really honest with all of her predictions all the time, and he is set to dispose her and get rid of her, and is giving her a chance to kind of change her lifestyle, I guess. I don't know. It sounded kind of interesting. The characters are supposed to be kind of morally ambiguous, but it's going to be very politically intrigue type based of the story. All right, then I did buy 4 books. The first one I bought is Die Volume 4, Bleed, which is the final graphic novel volume in the Die series. And this is a fantasy RPG game about some adults who get sent back to kind of a role-playing type of world, fantasy role-playing type of world, that they were trapped in as kids, and then they got free of it, and they got sucked back into it. I already read this, and I found it fairly disappointing. I've been finishing a lot of graphic novel series that just kind of end with this oh, this is the end, or is it kind of theme. And I don't know. The whole series, I really liked the first volume in it, and the second and third were okay, and then the last one I was just yeah, okay. So that one's almost one that I would say, just read the first volume and then move on, because all the exciting stuff is in the first volume. Anyway, so I did buy that. I also finally bought The Stand by Stephen King. I've been wanting to read this for a very long time, and it was on sale for Kindle, so I went ahead and got it, and it's one that is just such a big book. I didn't want to get a physical copy of it because it's just too much to carry around, so I really wanted to get it for Kindle, and I was kind of waiting for it to go on sale. And then the next one I bought, but it's actually one of the Kindle or Amazon Prime First Reads offers for November, and that is The Last Rose of Shanghai by Weena Dai Randall. And this is a historical fiction novel that takes place mostly in Shanghai, from what I know, during World War II. I am kind of fascinated by Shanghai, and I do read historical fiction off and on. So this book features a story between a Shanghai heiress and a Jewish man who is a refuge in Shanghai during World War II, or a refugee, I'll say it right, in Shanghai during World War II, and it's kind of supposed to be their story. I think it's a little bit of a romance as well as historical fiction. I don't know. But it was free for Kindle. It sounded very interesting, and the reviews is getting very solid, so I thought I would check it out. All right. The last one I bought is Snowstorms and Sleigh Bells by Kelly Armstrong. This is a Christmas novella that takes place in her A Stitch in Time series. This is called book 2.5, so it's a novella that takes place after the second book in the Stitch in Time series. That series is kind of a historical fiction / time travel series. It's about a mansion that has thin places where people can kind of go through time if they have this special time traveling gene, and it deals with this whole family and their historical, stuff. A lot of these stories do have some romance in it. It's a little bit sci-fi because of the time travel, but at heart, it seems to be mostly historical fiction. So you're finding out about the history and mystery behind this family. So I'm excited to read that, and I'll probably read that pretty soon just because it is kind of Christmas themed and it'd be nice to read in December. All right, I did buy one audiobook, and I actually bought this a while ago. My son is reading Ender's Game for his English class, and he wanted to get the audiobook to listen to as well. So I do have Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. Again, another classic sci-fi I've always wanted to read, so this was a really good opportunity to like get it for my son, and then I'm listening to it right now as well. And then lastly, I borrowed 2 books through Kindle Unlimited. I actually had a paper copy of this, but it's just easier for me to read these on Kindle, especially sometimes I read like after my husband goes to bed. I could just have my light on my Oasis, and this is not a Kindle advertisement. I just really like my Kindle. I've also been doing a lot more biking, so I can like just set it on the tray on my bike and make the text bigger and read it. So anyways, so the first one I borrowed is The Calculated Stars by Mary Robinette Kowal, and this is the first book in the Lady Astronaut universe. And I am actually reading this right now, and I'm really liking it. I'm about 70% of the way through. It's an alternate history / sci-fi book where a meteorite hits the ocean outside of Washington, D.C. And basically, they think it's a world-ending event because of the climate change that comes from that. And as a result of this, they start the space program a lot sooner. And because there are a lot of WASP women pilots from World War II, because this is in the 1950s, they do recruit women into the space program pretty early. So that's kind of what this is about. It's an alternate history with a lot of like, in the beginning, there's some survival stuff, and then there's a lot about space travel. And I'm really enjoying it. And as I said, I got that from my mom for Christmas like a year or 2 ago, and I just saw it was actually free for Kindle Unlimited right now, so I went ahead and got for my Kindle just because it's a little easier to read. And then the second one I got for Kindle Unlimited is The Faded Sky, which is the second book in the Lady Astronaut universe by Mary Robinette Kowal. And as I've said before, if I think a series looks interesting and I'm liking it, a lot of times I'll just go get all the books that I can in that series through Kindle Unlimited. And in this case, it looks like the first 2 are free in Kindle Unlimited, and the third one you would have to buy for your Kindle. The reason I do that is because Amazon tends to put things on and off the list of Kindle Unlimited, borrow, kind of willy-nilly. You never know if a series is going to have all the books on there, or if they're going to be on there and then get taken off there. So if I start to read a series and like it, I just borrow all the ones I can for free while they're on there. So that is what I got for stacking the shelves for the last 3 weeks. As I said, mainly I've been busy, just trying to switch jobs and stuff. And then we did go see family for Thanksgiving. So we did breakfast pie at my husband's parents' house, and then went to my parents' house and did dinner. Somehow I'm getting out of having to host Thanksgiving. I know my mom has celiac disease, so she kind of likes to do it herself. And I'm okay with that. It's just a little bit of running around, which is fine. So, yeah, that's really all I have to say, I guess. I don't know that I'll be doing stacking the shelves as frequently as I had been. I might have a little bit more time in December, we'll see, but as I get to my new job, it's going to get pretty busy while I try to figure everything out. And I think I did mention I'm moving away from, so my background is chemical engineering and information technology, and I am moving away from product development work and moving into an intellectual property liaison role. So I'm going to be part of the legal department working on kind of bridging the gap between the research scientists and the intellectual property council. So it should be a good role change. At least for now, it's 100% remote. Eventually, we might go into the office 1 or 2 days a week. But very excited to not be driving into work this winter. And so far, everybody I've been working with has been absolutely fantastic, and they're just very enthusiastic, and I really have been enjoying it so far. Of course, I've been working with these people only a couple weeks, and I'm officially only 1 day into the job, but it's been very fun so far, and it's making me very happy that I made that change. So I'm excited to see where things go. Other than that, Nothing else changing. My son's still doing good at school. My husband's still working from home. We are trying to plan a trip to Arizona after Christmas, but we're going to just have to see how things go world-wise. Our weather here has been a little crazy. I'm looking out right now and it's kind of snowing but kind of raining because the high today is supposed to be in the mid-50s, which is quite unusual for November. Usually we'd be a bit colder than that, but I'm not going to complain because I do not have to shovel snow right now, and that is awesome. That being said, I hope you enjoyed seeing my haul of books for the last 3 weeks and that you had a great week of reading. I also hope you got a lot of great books and that you have a great week of reading ahead of you. And I will talk to you later. Bye.